Hey guys, wanted to make this video on, it's around the time of the passing of Ozzy Osbourne, the end of July 2025, and this kind of shows me that how time is moving by, and obviously it doesn't stand still for anybody. I first remember Ozzy when I lived in Northeast Maryland, and I went into a store called Ames. It was across the highway from my house, and I'm not sure what album came out. I think it may have been around late 80s, early 90s, I don't know. But I remember looking at some of his albums, and it was a guy with a cross, crawling on the ground holding a cross up, and that was his first album, 1980. After he had the downfall, or they kicked him out of the band in Black Sabbath. He quit before that. A lot of people don't know that. In like 78. They kicked him out in November 78, something like that. Anyways, he was down and out, and his career was, he was depressed, and he was drinking every day and using drugs. And if it wasn't for Sharon Osbourne, his career would have been washed up, and he would just went into the gutter like a lot of people with a lot of talent. And he had amazing talent. His voice, if you listen to his voice, just the sound of it, that's really the reason why he is so popular as it is, because of his voice. Also, a lot of stories that are told about him. I first heard of stories about him, but that's the main reason of his voice. And the main reason why I'm making this video, really the idea is he was an outlier in with his voice with singing, and each of us have, more than likely have something that we're outliers in, meaning we go above and beyond normal to super levels. So I guess it's kind of discovering where you're an outlier in, so you can use that. And if you don't, you know, I think he kind of got lucky. He heard the Beatles when he was 14 on the radio and said, "This is what I want to do." I mean, if you look at some of his videos, like he was already planning on naming bands, like when he was a teenager and stuff. I think an early teenager. He actually engraved some of them in some of the cement in Birmingham, England. So yeah, that's the reason Ozzy is who he so popular and so well known, because of his voice. And I use him in some bodybuilding entertainment routine. Like I used it last year, Bark at the Moon. It was on, my competition was November 2nd, so it's around Halloween. So I came up with the idea that around Halloween I'll use that song. That's also the first song I consciously remember. A friend of mine, Mike Fortino, let me borrow the album. He lived he worked at a Reynolds recycling center where I lived, and I used to go down there every day, and we became friends. So and he was about 10 years older than me, so he was kind of the 80s generation. And yeah, like, that's the point though. I have an idea what I'm an outlier in, and you may too, but it may take some searching and experimenting, and especially if you're young, trying new stuff to see what you're naturally God-gifted ability is, and finding that out. And it goes to show, nothing lasts forever. I mean, Ozzy, he did enormous amount of drugs, enough cocaine to kill 1,000,000 elephants. I mean, there's something called Parkin 2. It means that you got Parkinson's because of using external substances to raise dopamine. And when you raise dopamine way too high, it goes down and crashes, and you can definitely mess your brain up. So, yeah. Obviously, and he also drank a lot of alcohol as well. That's his dad used to do the same. So, yeah, he did some really bad things on alcohol. He killed like 17 cats with a shotgun one time when he was drunk. And he tried to kill Sharon one time when he was drunk. And alcohol is a terrible drug. Like, it's just stay away from it for the most. I'm not saying, you can't have a drink here or there. I had a drink on New Year's. Before that, I can't remember when, but in moderation. But yeah, it's not a good thing for sure. And I know from experience. So. With an ex. So yeah, anyways, keep doing you, keep finding what you're good at, and seeing what you're good at, and everything like that. Thank you.